Well, after having purchased tickets long ago for our train ride, the weekend's finally here. So we jump on numerous turnpikes, stop in Pennsylvania at a train store to pick up supplies, and make our way up to the Cuyahoga Valley. Once we got into Ohio, it did kind of rain off and on most of the rest of the trip, but we're not going to let a little rain stop our adventure. The next morning, even before breakfast, we got horrible information. What? You got to be kidding. Sadly, they weren't kidding. I guess when you have a railroad right next to a creek, bad things can happen. Turns out we couldn't even get to the parking lot. I will say most of our group took the bad news very well, as a matter of fact, but seems the schedule has nothing for us, so I guess it's time to come up with a... Well, after some discussion and several rounds of voting, we decided to backtrack about an hour and a half to go to the Age of Steam Roundhouse. It turned out to be a really cool place to visit, and we did see the 765's older sibling, the 763. However, as you can see, the 763 is not exactly roadworthy now. Well, after several hours in the roundhouse, we got some souvenirs. We went over and had a really good smorgasbord lunch. Then we decided to hit the Football Hall of Fame on the way back up the hill. While some gravitated to Jim Brown and the Cleveland Browns, I sort of gravitated to the old Steeler glory days of Bradshaw, the Terrible Towel, and all those things. Well, after several hours in the Hall of Fame, hitting the gift shop, loading up on stuff, it's now time to make our way back up. Looking at the clock and looking at the internet, we see that the last train of the day is actually going to run. I guess the creek receded enough, so we're going to try to scamper in position and see if we can catch a run by. Well, after half a day, Mother Nature seemed to have made the water go away, and we can now access the station. Sort of impressive. Lucky for us, we learned of a place to watch the train roll by about a mile or so away from the station.
Really? Yeah.
It's getting closer. We can now hear the wheels on the rails. Also in the video, I managed to catch the Cuyahoga Nest monster. Nice. There goes the signal. The vibrations you just heard were several train rail fans running to the next spot. However, we had a day, we're done. And we did realize that this is not the best location, so better videos follow. Well, I took both video and stills, so here are two stills from the bridge. Too bad there wasn't a way to get those two knuckleheads out of my picture, but, well, what can you do? Oh yeah, this. Well, with the bonus train spotting in our belts, we head into downtown Cleveland for a really decent dinner. Time to go to sleep, wake up, and back the next morning. We're at the train station where we're going to buy some souvenirs and watch the train come in. We managed to get in excellent position to watch the grand entrance of the nickel plate 765 roll into the station. In my opinion, it's the best video of all, so of course I'm going to save it to the end. I know you're sad, but I'll play a little music to make you happy. The five of us plus others are in position. Guess we'll see what we see. Sort of interesting, yesterday we heard a double whistle blast as the train left the station due to heavy cloud cover. Can't really hear it today. Sort of reminds me, I hear the train a-coming. It's rolling around the bend. Well, that was pretty decent. I took still pictures, 2 videos. Here's the second video now. Well, sacrificial cam's no worse for the wear, a little moisture on the lens. In case you're wondering, I start the video camera 15 or 20 minutes before the train comes by, so I'm in no danger at all. Then I just delete all the nothing footage in the front of the video. So there you have it. On to the next. Seems she tried to take a still picture while the video was running and accidentally turned her video off.
So,
Oops.
I accidentally toggled it off right as I was zooming out to catch it right as it came by me. Otherwise, it would have been a perfect shot. That's
Well, with that run by out of the way, what we actually did was jumped in the car and headed back to good old Virginia. However, as promised, I'm saving the best video for last, at least the video that I think for last. So anyway, as we take a look at these shots, in case you care, or even if you don't, the nickel plate is actually officially known as the New York, Chicago, and St. Louis Railroad. Yeah, so there you go. And also, if you care, or even if you don't, the pusher diesel in the back provides some electricity for all the passenger cars, as well as a little bit of extra oomph for the loco. In case you're not sure what you're going to see, the steam coming out the bottom cylinders is releasing wet, saturated steam because you can't really compress water. If you try, bad things will happen. So it's coming out right there where the arrow shows. Also, on the top, the dynamo is providing electricity for the big headlight and for the flashing Mars light. So that's why steam's coming out the top also. And of course, steam and smoke come out, well, the smokestack. And finally, the white markers on the loco. In this case, they look a little gray, but anyway, they're white, or they even could be a white flag. Means an extra train or one that has been temporarily added to the schedule. All right, enough train trivia for now. Back to the video. So the steam coming out the cylinders now is on purpose. You have to get rid of that wet steam. Later, it's just going to be for the run by for our video enjoyment. Yeah, let's start that over again just because we can. Notice when the whistle blows, you can't even hear the chuffing noises. Well, it's about right now that I think, I think I'm going to get blasted by some saturated steam, so I guess I better prepare myself. Here goes nothing. train was so long, the engine was way off the platform on one end, and several cars in the pusher was way off the platform on the other end. That was the sad part. We couldn't get any pictures of the 765 while it was stationary. But all in all, we did pretty good. Well, that's a wrap. I'll finish this video up with my two favorite nickel plate pictures. Right now I'm not really sure which one I like the best, but I guess I'll have to make a decision sooner or later. Kind of like this one with all the steam coming out because you don't often get to see that. Anyway, thanks for watching.